Hey nerds, it's Zan, and once again I'm talking about something that I love in Guild Wars 2. I play a dual dagger elementalist that's kind of a fresh air build, and I love the idea of going in and having to get hit to get a stun off, and disengaging and charging back into combat and having to be in melee range. Probably not the best build for the Mouth of Zhaitan, but it was so much fun. One of the best attributes of this fight were the Orion Spectral Guardians. Guards? I think they're guards. Regardless, I didn't know that if I charged in the way I normally do everything with my combat, that they would just knock me around. So I kept trying to LOS the boss, and just a fair warning, the orbs that he shoots out actually go through pillars, so you can't LOS that. You can only dodge. But I got to a point where I was trying to pull each spectral guard out behind each pillar to kill them there and then go in and down the boss. And after moving out and healing and going back in and breaking the Defiance bar, I think 3 to 4 times, I got angry, broke the Defiance bar the last time, and just completely crushed the Mouth of Zhaitan. But there were a lot more mechanics to this fight than anything I've seen in the game so far, and I really feel like it's a segue into the difficulty that the game has to offer, especially once you get past the 80 personal story. And I absolutely love it. In comparison to other games I've played, like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, for WoW, you could have bosses out in the world that maybe in Vanilla or Burning Crusade at the latest, you would have to have a small group for that you would have to find, and then a lot of people would have to take turns tagging because there wasn't shared loot. But for the most part, they ended up not being as difficult after that. In Final Fantasy XIV, essentially nothing in the world scales to people who are max level, so if someone comes out and wants to help you, they can just one-shot it, and you're not instanced for these things. However, there are bosses that you have to do through the MSQ where you get instanced into, and most of it has to do with positioning and getting in and out of telegraphed AoEs quick enough, and maybe standing on a target and using a shield, or clicking on something and interacting with it, even though for 14 it could be kind of tough because sometimes it's a little bit buggy that way. But this combat felt so smooth. And there was so much more than just moving around. There were rocks on the ground that you could pick up to break the Defiance bar if you wanted. You could actually look at the tooltips for the boss, which made it more apparent that he was unstoppable, things like that. Same thing with the Spectral Guards. If I'd actually clicked on them instead of just the Mouth of Zhaitan before I started the fight, I would have known that they would have just knocked me around and done a shockwave ability. Either way, it was a ton of fun, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the game has to offer. And I can say, spoiler alert, I didn't die. So here's the fight, and if you guys have any advice or want to talk about anything about the game, feel free to post anything in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content. And I'm also streaming on Twitch pretty much every day of the week, so make sure you check me out there. If you haven't tried Guild Wars 2, or you don't have an account anymore, check the link. I'm now an ArenaNet partner, so most of the Guild Wars 2 videos that I'm going to be posting are technically sponsored. So I will have a link in the description and also a link in a pinned comment.
I sustain Zhaitan, and Zhaitan makes me strong.
That's so irritating, too.
down.
I sustain Zhaitan, and Zhaitan makes me strong.
That's how I do it.
I sustain Zhaitan, and Zhaitan makes me strong.
Sorrow does not.
I feel like I made that really hard on myself.